Most of what we do every day is automatic. Think about brushing your teeth, you don't even have to think about it, and most of the time, you don't even notice you're doing it. The same goes for how you handle your money. In this video, we're going to dive into 8 money habits that are keeping you poor. Before recognizing these bad habits, I was always in debt and struggled to save a single dollar. But once I realized what I was doing wrong and swapped out those bad habits for good ones, I managed to pay off $80,000 in student loans in just a few years. That's when I finally started investing and learning to work smarter, not harder. Your habits have a ripple effect. Over time, they compound, shaping who you become and ultimately determining whether you end up rich or poor. That's why it's crucial to identify any bad money habits now and replace them with smarter financial practices. So, if you're ready to take control of your financial future, hit that like button and let's jump in. Money habit number 1, paying yourself last. Let me explain what this means. As soon as you get paid, Money habit number 1, paying yourself last. You pay your rent, your phone bill, your gym membership. You go out to dinner, treat yourself to something nice, and plan to save whatever's left at the end of the month. The problem is, there's never anything left to save. Sound familiar? People who get ahead financially do the exact opposite. They pay themselves first. Before paying bills or swiping their cards for anything else, they put a portion of their income into savings. Then, they cover their expenses and live on what's left. They focus on making themselves richer, instead of making everyone else richer. Successful savers understand a concept called Parkinson's Law, which says that demands will always expand to consume all available resources. Think about it: if you have a week to finish a project, you'll likely use the whole week. But if you only have an hour, you'll get super focused and finish it efficiently in that hour. The same principle applies to money. Your spending will always rise to match the amount of money you have, whether it's $100 or $100,000. That's why simply making more money isn't the solution. And saving whatever is left after you've spent everything just won't work, because your spending will always expand to use up whatever money is available. The key is to pay yourself first. Treat saving like a non-negotiable bill. As soon as you get paid, set aside 10%, or whatever amount you can manage, and put it into savings or investments. Then, live on the rest. If you want to stop watching money slip through your fingers and actually start keeping some of what you earn, it's time to ditch this bad money habit once and for all. The next bad habit to break: trying to keep up with friends who have expensive tastes. Money habit number 2, keeping up with friends who have expensive taste. We all have that group of friends who want to go out to fancy restaurants, go on shopping sprees, and take luxurious trips, staying in high-end hotels. If your friends have bigger budgets than you do, it's completely okay to be upfront and say, "Hey, I can't do that right now, I'm working towards some financial goals, and I need to stick to my budget." If they're real friends, they'll understand. The reality is, everyone has different tastes and very different budgets. Trying to keep up with people who spend more than you can afford will only leave you broke and in debt. This doesn't just apply to your friends, it's also about the people you follow on social media. A lot of what you see online, the luxurious lifestyles, the constant travel, is often just an illusion. For instance, I know someone personally who's always posting pictures of herself traveling to exotic destinations. It looks like she's living this glamorous, perfect life. But in reality, she has $20,000 in credit card debt and absolutely nothing in savings or investments. So, don't be fooled. What you see isn't always the full story. Chasing experiences just so you can post a cool photo on Instagram or look good to others is a fast track to being broke. You have to ask yourself, would you rather look rich or be rich? If your dream is to become financially independent one day, you've got to stop worrying about what everyone else thinks. No one else is going to achieve your financial goals for you. Learn to speak up for yourself. Don't be afraid to decline expensive invitations or suggest more affordable activities. Chances are, your friends will respect you for having your priorities straight, and you might even inspire them to rethink their own financial habits. The next bad money habit you need to give up: putting everything on credit. Money habit number 3, overusing your credit card because of points or rewards. Many of us love using our credit cards for the perks, whether it's cash back, reward miles, or other benefits. And don't get me wrong, credit cards can be amazing. Personally, I haven't paid for a flight in years, thanks to the miles I've accumulated with my United Explorer card. But here's the catch: people often end up spending way more on their credit cards than they would have otherwise, and this basically cancels out all the benefits of those rewards. I'm guilty of this too. Sometimes, when I'm debating whether or not to make a purchase, I find myself justifying it by thinking, hey, at least I'll get some miles for this, even if I can't actually afford it. That's a slippery slope. Once I realized this pattern, I knew I had to make a change. Here's what I do now for everyday small purchases, like coffee or cab rides. I use my debit card or pay in cash. But for larger purchases, anything over $100, unlock wealth in 90 days with the wisdom of a 7,000-year-old wizard. The Wealth Wizard's Secrets to be rich. Achieving wealth in 90 days helps you overcome limiting beliefs, reprogram your mind, and set clear goals. This transformative guide, packed with motivational stories and practical exercises, is your path to prosperity. Get it now for the promotional price, available only today. Click on the pinned comment link and start your journey to wealth now. Like hotels, courses, or something special, I put it on my credit card for the miles. However, I immediately pay off the balance, right then and there, using my phone. This way, I only buy things I can actually afford in cash, while still getting the benefits of my credit card. Before I started doing this, I'd rack up a balance, and at the end of the month, I'd be shocked by how much I'd spent. Credit cards make it easy to spend mindlessly, especially if you're justifying your purchases because of the rewards. The lesson here? Only use your rewards credit card if you have the money to pay for the purchase right away. Don't let the promise of points or miles trick you into spending more than you should. Now, on to money habit number 4, having disorganized finances. Money habit number 4, having disorganized finances. Keeping your finances disorganized is like keeping your head in the sand. If you have multiple credit cards, student loans you barely know the balance for, and no clear idea of what you're spending each month, it's time to consolidate and get organized. Luckily, there are so many great apps and tools that make it easy to track your finances. For example, I used to use Mint, and I really liked it. You can link your bank accounts, credit cards, and loans to get a full picture of your spending and income. It'll show you what your spending looks like each month, and you can even track your net worth over time. It only takes a few minutes to set up, and it's totally worth it. These days, I've switched to tracking my finances in a spreadsheet because I love the control and customization. Every month, I update my spreadsheet to track my net worth, and it's incredibly motivating to see my progress month by month. It also forces me to keep my finances super organized, since I know where all my money is at all times. One way to stay organized is to choose a financial institution that offers a range of services so you can do all your financial stuff in one place. The fewer online accounts and passwords you have to keep track of, the better. For example, I have my personal checking account, my Roth IRA, and most of my investment accounts with Fidelity, which lets me access everything with just one login. Another platform that offers a full suite of services is Betterment, which includes a checking account, a high-yield savings account, and various investment accounts. With all the technology and amazing new platforms available today, it's easier than ever to get and stay organized with your finances. The key is to find the courage to really look at where you stand financially. I know it can be a humbling and even sobering experience, but until you know where you're starting from, you can't map out where you want to go. So stop staying confused about your finances. Build a habit of staying organized and check your numbers regularly. Next up, money habit number 5, numbing yourself to debt. Money habit number 5, paying extra due to lack of planning. We've all been there, caught in the rain without an umbrella and running into a store to buy yet another one, even though you already have several at home. Not planning ahead and being unprepared can end up costing you extra money, and those little expenses add up over time. It's not just about umbrellas. This lack of planning can show up in many ways. Maybe you end up taking an expensive Uber ride because you didn't refill your Subway card, or you get hit with an overdraft fee because you didn't check your bank balance. Another common example is racking up interest charges on a credit card because you didn't set aside money for unexpected expenses. Now, don't get me wrong, I'm all for living in the moment and being spontaneous. But if you're constantly having to buy things you already own or paying extra fees because you're unprepared, it's time to make a change. A little bit of planning can go a long way in saving you money. Take a few minutes to check the weather before you leave the house. Leave some buffer time between appointments to avoid rushing, and check your account balance regularly. These small actions can prevent unnecessary expenses. At the end of the day, having money in the bank gives you the freedom to truly live spontaneously when it matters most. So, if you want to keep more of your money, make planning ahead a habit. Next up, money habit number 6, paying too much in taxes. Money habit number 8, waiting too long to start investing. Just like I mentioned earlier, putting off things like saving and investing for your future can be a dangerous, slippery slope. You might be telling yourself, I'll start investing when I have more money, but that can easily turn into a never-ending cycle of procrastination and excuses. There will always be reasons not to invest, whether it's not enough money, not enough knowledge, not enough time, or other priorities. But here's the reality: the longer you wait to start investing, the harder you'll have to work to achieve the same level of financial freedom as someone who started earlier. For example, if you begin investing at age 20, you could become a millionaire by age 50 by only investing $180,000 of your own money. But if you wait until you're 30 to start, you'd need to invest nearly twice as much to reach that same goal by age 50. The sooner you start, the less heavy lifting you'll have to do, and the less of your own money it will take to reach millionaire status. Even if you can only start with $50 a month, do it now. Don't wait. Getting started with investing is easier than you think. Just stick your money into some low-cost index funds. If you're not sure where to begin, I have a video that explains how to choose good index funds, and tons of tutorials on my channel to help you get started. Set aside a weekend to learn the basics. You'll be so glad you did. If saving and investing doesn't seem fun to you, try changing your perspective. It's not about depriving yourself, it's about taking care of your future self. Think of it as a form of self-care, because doing this now will make your life so much better down the road. If you found yourself falling into any of the money habits we've talked about, be gentle with yourself. Don't beat yourself up. Most of us never learn this stuff in school, or even from our parents. People with good money habits usually learn them the hard way by making mistakes and deciding to do better. So what matters most is not where you've been, but where you're headed. The good news is that you have the power to make changes today, and even small steps can lead to big improvements. The first step is awareness, and by watching this video, you're already on the right path. Once you recognize your bad money habits, the next move is to create an actionable plan. This doesn't mean overhauling your entire financial life overnight. Just focus on making small, consistent changes. Start by setting aside even a tiny portion of your income for saving or investing, and gradually build from there. Also, don't underestimate the value of education. The more you learn about money management and personal finance, the more empowered you'll feel to make smart decisions. This doesn't have to be complicated. There are tons of free resources like YouTube videos, podcasts, and blogs that break down financial concepts in simple, easy to understand ways. You don't need to be a financial expert to improve your habits. You just need to be committed to learning and applying what you learned consistently. Be patient with yourself. Building new money habits takes time, and setbacks are part of the process. Don't get discouraged if things don't go perfectly right away. Every step you take toward better financial habits is progress, and over time, these small efforts will compound into significant changes. Remember, wealth isn't built overnight, it's the result of persistent, long-term effort. So stay focused, keep learning, and trust the process. You've got this. One of the best ways to stay on track is by setting clear financial goals. Whether it's saving for an emergency fund, paying off debt, or investing for your future, having a specific target will help keep you motivated. Break these goals down into smaller, achievable steps. For example, if your goal is to save $5,000 in a year, calculate how much you need to set aside each month or paycheck. Tracking your progress will not only keep you accountable, but it will also give you a sense of accomplishment as you see your efforts pay off little by little. It's also important to surround yourself with the right influences. If your social circle encourages reckless spending, or if you're constantly bombarded by social media influencers flaunting luxurious lifestyles, it can be hard to stay focused on your goals. Seek out communities both online and offline where people share similar values around financial independence and smart money habits. Engaging with people who have a positive approach to money can help reinforce your own commitment to building a solid financial future. And trust me, I'm not perfect either. Even though I'm a YouTuber who talks about money, a lot of what I've mentioned in this video is stuff I needed to remind myself about too. It's all about becoming aware of your habits and having the financial literacy to recognize whether your daily actions are bringing you closer to or further from your financial goals. The good news: it's never too late to replace bad money habits with good ones and improve your relationship with money. If you want to keep this momentum going, make sure to check out the rest of my channel for more videos to inspire and teach you about money. In fact, now 2 more videos are appearing on your screen to expand your financial knowledge and open the doors of abundance in your life. Click on one of them now. Please hit the like button if you enjoyed this video, and don't forget to subscribe. I post new content regularly, and I'd love to connect with you again, my apprentice.